Have you ever wondered about a warning so powerful it shakes the entire world? We are talking about the final end-time prophecies getting fulfilled in Israel. So let's dive into this video and understand what could be so alarming. Is it a prophecy, a revelation, or something else? Let's find out. Throughout history, there have been religious predictions about signs indicating the world's end. One of these predictions revolves around Jesus returning and the construction of a third temple. Surprisingly, these prophecies align with current events, bringing about more astonishing revelations. And recently, the reconstruction of the Third Temple created a shock. The idea of rebuilding the Third Temple in Jerusalem holds great cultural and spiritual significance, especially for the Orthodox Jewish community. Interestingly, it's considered even more crucial than the previous temples that were destroyed. The roots of this idea go back to the Hebrew Bible, where prophets foresaw the arrival of the Messiah, coinciding with the construction of this new temple. However, a significant challenge arises because the proposed location for the Third Temple is also home to an important Islamic structure called the Dome of the Rock. This situation has sparked a long-standing dispute between Israelis and Palestinians over authority on the Temple Mount. It has become a complex geopolitical issue, with some countries not officially recognizing Jerusalem as Israel's capital. Despite these challenges, the desire to build the Third Temple remains strong. However, making it accessible for Jewish worshippers is difficult due to the presence of Muslim individuals, particularly women dressed in traditional black attire, who often discourage Jewish visitors. Additionally, Muslim leaders argue that there was never a temple at that location. Moreover, the Third Temple holds immense religious and historical importance for Jews. It symbolizes the re-establishment of a sacred site central to their faith. Nonetheless, building it faces various challenges, from physical construction hurdles to the region's complex religious and political factors. This clash of determination and historical disagreement continues to shape the ongoing story of this sacred site. With this reconstruction, something mysterious was also found. A big discovery that many people are talking about is related to the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. This place is super important for both Jewish and Muslim communities because it has a lot of history and religious meaning for many generations. Recently, they found something interesting under the Al-Aqsa Mosque on the Temple Mount. There used to be a special place where Jewish people did rituals to make themselves spiritually clean. This is a big deal because, in the Islamic tradition, they believe the mosque was built by a really important person named Abraham long ago. So, basically, this place is special to different religions for different reasons. Now, here's the cool part. A British archaeologist named Robert Hamilton made this discovery after an earthquake messed up the mosque. He found something amazing under the mosque's floor, a Jewish ritual bath called a mikvah. This mikvah was important for Jewish people during a time called the Second Temple period. It was a place for them to get spiritually clean before going up to the special grounds of the Temple Mount. What's really interesting about this discovery is that it challenges what people used to think. Some folks believe there was never an ancient Jewish temple at this location, but thanks to this find, history is kind of changing. Scholars are going through old British records and finding proof that there really was an ancient temple at the Temple Mount. It's not just about old stuff. It shows how important religion and culture are to this special place. It is like finding a missing puzzle piece that changes how we see this important site. It's like shining a new light on its history and religious meaning. Further, another prophecy was fulfilled with the arrival of red heifers. 5 special red heifers recently came to Israel from a ranch in Texas, causing a lot of excitement, especially for those who believe in a prophecy about building the Third Temple in Jerusalem. These heifers, all less than a year old, are crucial because if they stay entirely red and flawless, their ashes can be used to purify people according to Jewish law. This purification is super important for Kohanim priests to do their duties in a future temple. After arriving, the heifers went to Haifa for a quarantine of at least 7 days, following the rules of the Israel Veterinary Authority. Later, they'll be moved to 2 places in Israel, with one eventually open to the public. The heifers will be taken care of until they're 3 years old, and then, following Jewish law, they can be slaughtered for their ashes. A group called Boneh Israel, made up of Jews and Christians, played a big role in bringing these heifers to Israel. A Texas rancher, Byron Stinson, who works with the organization, raised these cattle. The heifers got a special welcome at Ben Gurion Airport, attended by Temple Institute officials and other important people. In the Bible, having a red heifer is super important. The ashes from a red heifer were needed to purify the Israelites, as mentioned in the book of Numbers, chapter 19. These ashes were used for purification rituals at the temple. Today, the appearance of a red heifer is seen by many as a sign that the construction of the third temple is coming, and some people believe that Christ might return. 9 red heifers were traditionally sacrificed since Moses' time, but none after the second temple was destroyed. Rabbi Maimonides believed that the Messiah would sacrifice the 10th red heifer. In September 2022, 5 flawless red heifers arrived in Israel from Texas, and many see this as fulfilling a prophecy, bringing us closer to a new temple. According to Mosaic law, the rules for a red heifer are strict. It must be without defect or blemish and never have worn a yoke. The red heifer sacrifice had unique features, like using a female animal, being sacrificed away from the tabernacle's entrance, and having a specific color. In Numbers chapter 19, verses 1 and 10, the Bible describes the detailed process of slaughtering a red heifer. The priest Eleazar oversaw the ritual outside the Israelite camp. The ashes from the red heifer were crucial for purifying those who touched a dead body, highlighting the heifer's importance in Israelite religious practices. These biblical commands about the red heifer symbolize Christ's sacrifice for forgiveness. Jesus, like the red heifer, was without blemish. Just as the red heifer was sacrificed outside the camp, Jesus was crucified outside Jerusalem. The red heifer's ashes, cleansing people from the contamination of death, parallel Christ's sacrifice, saving us from the consequences and corruption of sin and death. Still, despite various challenges, the third temple is under construction, and recently a ceremony happened. In an ancient ceremony linked to the third temple, a special group of priests called Kohanim and Levites recreated old rituals. Just on October 12th, they redid the ancient water ceremony for the third temple. Starting at Shahar Hashpot in Jerusalem's Old City, the Kohanim, dressed special, and the Levites with musical instruments led everyone to Shiloh, Siloam Springs, an old place. They used a golden jug to collect water there, ending with the priestly blessing and the Hakhel ceremony. Even though the Torah doesn't say you have to pour water, it's part of Moses' oral tradition and seen as a happy celebration. During the last 6 days of Sukkot, the water pouring happened with wine in the morning service. People worldwide joined in the Sukkot celebrations, making it a global day of worship. These events match prophecies about building the third temple, making everyone excited about ancient predictions coming true. Further, there was the rediscovery of the ancient Pool of Siloam. The Pool of Siloam was an amazing place, 53 feet long, 18 feet wide, and 19 feet deep, made of natural rocks and crafted by skilled hands. Unfortunately, it was destroyed when Babylon attacked Jerusalem and the Second Temple. But the good news, it got rebuilt during Nehemiah's time and got even bigger when Herod the Great was in charge. It became a spot where poor and sick people came for healing and was super important during the Feast of Tabernacles, celebrating when the Israelites got free from Egypt. The Festival of Booths, or Sukkot, is a big deal in Judaism. It remembers the time when they got free from Egypt and survived in the desert. People build temporary sukkahs, like their ancestors' shelters in the wilderness. Sukkot is a way of saying thanks to God and asking for rain. It's a celebration happening in Jewish communities all around the world. During Sukkot, a priest used to get water from the Pool of Siloam in a golden pitcher, singing psalms and being happy, and then poured the water on the altar's west side, showing something special from Isaiah chapter 12, verse 3. What do you think of Israel's final warning shocking the world? Comment below and subscribe for more.